Full Welsh Breakfast with Jason Mell on Red Dragon FM. We welcome back somebody who's not been to Red Dragon for ages, actually. James Dean Bradfield, how are you?
Yola, how you doing?
Well, welcome home.
Home, yeah, no, definitely, yeah. Kind of been back in the Bay for a while now.
Are you not residing in London these days? Have you still got your pad there?
Yeah, I'd say kind of like Wales over the last 6 months has won just by 5%. I say it's a 55-45 split.
I am here in the interview.
Yeah, that's right. It's all right, Mel's just sitting in.
I'm just sitting here staring at you, which must be a little bit slightly off-putting, I must say.
No, I got bad eyesight.
And I love that Commander Tom just bought you a glass of water and I didn't get one.
Hey, this is rock and roll, and it's only water.
Respect for the term,
Welsh water, you can't see. That's what I miss when I'm in London, is Welsh water. Good old water from the tap that tastes like metal and a little bit of fluoride.
I can see the direction this is going in.
You can, can't
Fierce
you?
Welsh partisanship.
We're going to end up talking about brains are saying it's just all going to turn bad. Now, you've got new stuff coming out, solo. So is this the first crack you've had at doing solo stuff, I should say?
Yeah, no, it is. And I kind of like, I never had any ambition to do, a solo album. It was kind of like, it just came because the Manics, we realised that we'd been like in a band for 22 years, basically.
Wow.
Just to get some perspective, we thought we've got to like take a massive break and starve ourselves of what the Manics is, so that when we actually come back to make an album, it's almost like we'll be ravenous for it. We'll just be really upfront and aggressive rock and roll album.
Cool.
And like no one else is going to tell us to take a break, except for the people who don't like us. And kind of like, and we just thought we've got to take a 2-year break.
With the emphasis on the word break, there's been so much rumours and speculation about you splitting up. You are not splitting up, are you? And haven't.
No, good grief. No, kind of like Manics is like the mafia. Once you're in, you're in. That's it. It's kind of. No, I'm liking to it. And my solo thing is like a little holiday. But the Manics, is my home. It's the hearth. It's the fireplace. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I couldn't just sit around for a year and not do anything because I would just watch ESPN Classic.
Play a bit of golf?
No, I had all those plans. Kind of like learn a different language, build a guitar. Kind of go on the Silk Route in China. And of course, it's all I did was watch sport on TV all day. I became a dysfunctional person to the highest degree.
It's a blooming good job that you have done this because that's No Way to Tell a Lie. We've been listening to it this morning and it's a stormer of a song. First time I heard it, it was there in my head and I was singing along to it straight away. Sometimes you hear songs and it kind of has to grow.
In your head like a little bug.
It's there. It's got me. Are you proud of it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. When I first started doing the solo stuff, I was a bit scared of not being with Nick and Sean. But as things have gone on, I just thought, you know what? As long as, Nick and Sean don't laugh me out of court. That's the kind of, the approval that I kind of crave.
Well, they're like your safety net then.
Tiny bit, yeah. My
there.
taste filters, definitely. I go, do you like this? And they'd be like, it's okay. And then when they actually say, no, that's really good, then I'd listen to them,
Oh, right.
So Nick would pop into the studio now and again and make cups of tea.
That's No Way to Tell a Lie is out now.
Yeah.
What do you hope for it? Do you want it to be number one? Is that what you're aiming for?
Good grief.
Is that a stupid question?
Good grief. Not for an old timer like me.
What's your expectations of it? What would you be happy with?
I'd be happy with the top 20, I would. That's the thing, when a kind of singer does something outside of a group, it's kind of different because people are into a group for that whole last gang in town mentality. They like seeing you as part of a gang. When you step outside of that, you definitely kind of like, it's harder for people to identify with you. But I've got, under no illusions, I'm not a number one in Luxembourg, perhaps.
And I'm sure
that's not achievable. But like, I think that's all the best stuff comes from fear of failure. For me, but that fear of failure
doesn't show on stage, does it?
Always really kind of. Well, yeah, but it's the fear
Great
of failure.
showman.
I've got one move on stage. That's the one where I spin around on one leg.
I've seen it many a time.
The thing is, nobody's ever watching that because they're all looking at what sort of dress Nicky's wearing.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Which makes life so much easier. When I'm just like doing my one pony trick dance move on stage, I know they're looking at Nick's legs.
That's No Way to Tell a Lie. I've got the lyrics here in front of me. Sounds like you're telling somebody off about telling a lie. Who are you aiming it at?
I think it's just kind of like about being brought up as an atheist by your mother and father saying that you don't need a God. And it's about you kind of being brought up like that and in your head believing it, but your heart sometimes saying to you, it would be nice to try and talk to God. It'd be nice to have a religion. Churches look so pretty, don't they? And it's about your heart kind of perhaps telling you the lie that, there is a God when your head knows that you've been brought up to believe something different.
Okay. And you have written a song for Ocean Spray. Was that a difficult song to write for you?
To be honest, when I wrote Ocean Spray, which is after kind of my mother passed away, everybody always thinks it's a great cinematic moment where kind of like, it's a moment of clarity and you have this cathartic moment. But it never really is. And that lyric was more like an emotional reflex.
I hope you don't think I'm judging, but you seem quite a tortured soul. Are you happy? Are you a happy blokey? You look happy today.
That's kind of like, that's the million dollar question. Are you happy?
Yeah.
I'm happy yet unfulfilled.
What would it take for you to be totally fulfilled?
If you knew that, you'd be fulfilled.
We said earlier, there's got to be something you're aiming for with the single. Is it with the album?
It's always something so intangible, but it's always kind of like, it's that old cliche, the race is the prize. You're not looking for perfection. The last time I was so happy, where I thought I couldn't be happier, was when Joe Calzaghe beat Jeff Lacey.
That was out of a scrap, wasn't it?
That was just like the happiest I've been in years. Since before that, the Grand Slam, obviously.
Yeah.
But Joe Calzaghe, to my shock, kind of like that just nearly surpassed anything I'd felt for years, except for getting married and stuff.
I was going to say,
I
was seeing the ring on your left.
I was just reminding
Did
myself.
I mention I got married 2 weeks ago?
You have been watching ESPN, James, too many years. You need to get out there on the road.
No,
now.
but it was something so brilliant because nobody ever gave Joe Kazak a chance. You know, he was this Welsh fighter that's never been given much of a chance by the English press. You know, he just about bullied the best pound for pound fighter in the world out of the ring.
Whooped ass.
Like, you know, he just said, hey, I'm here. And because he was just born over the valley for myself, Nick, Sean and Richey, it made it all the more special.
Great.
So are you happily married? Everything cool?
Yes, I'm cool.
I'm only asking that because I got married recently. I don't know if I've mentioned that.
No, you didn't mention that. It's
How long have you been married?
Very
2
quiet.
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Feels like 10 years already.
Honeymoon
does it?
period, you know. Yeah, absolutely.
You have the single out. There's also, it's off the album, which is out on the 24th of July.
Yes. I'm going to be touring, doing a British tour in September. And I do lots of little gigs in Wales, actually. I'm going to try and play places like Tenby and Abergavenny and like Newbridge up the valleys. And I try and play places that I've never played before, little small venues. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Fancy doing the Point or the Coal Exchange for us, something like that?
I've played the Coal Exchange before. I'm trying to play places I've never played. So I want to play
right.
I want to play the Memorial Hall in Newbridge because I used to work behind the bar up there. See.
Oh,
Have you got any dates in mind for that?
September.
What do you think of the current music scene in Wales?
Obviously, it's just like, it's irrecognisable from what it was, you know, even 5 years ago. It's just, you know, when I actually just look at the band like The Automatic, you know, it went from nothing to just like the biggest profile in the world.
Lost Prophets as well, number one album?
Yeah, it just makes you feel happy, to be honest. I mean, when I think about when I was in 1990, in my day, you know, it kind of, there was only, you'd only ever get played on the radio like, you know, once every day, and there was only one program on TV, and there was only 3 festivals a year. Now there's 20 festivals a year, and you get just a lot of more good music all the time, and it's made it easier for bands from Wales.
Do you feel quite a sense of pride in that? Because I think that's probably down to guys like you who paved the way.
I don't know I wouldn't say we paved the way for Welsh bands. The only thing I think that we did change a tiny bit was that A&R men from record companies were always loath to actually cross the Severn Bridge.
Yeah.
You know,
Costed bloody much, didn't it?
Yeah, but there's two,
I'm 90.
There's 2 bridges now. There's no excuse.
You know, they'd always be making jokes. You know, on the road signs are in a different language, and you've got to pay to get in, but you haven't got to pay to get out. And like an A&R men started coming down as a result of perhaps, you know, a band like us coming out of Wales.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing we can take credit for. There were millions of good bands in Wales anyway.
Now, what about the future of the Manics then? When are you hoping to get back together and collaborating, or just meeting up for a beer and saying, hey guys, we should get back in the studio?
Oh yeah, me and Nick are down the pub all the time. Me, Nick and Sean did a session about 2.5-3 weeks ago. We've got nearly most of the album written, and we've recorded like 2 songs for the album already, and it just feels really fresh, up front rock and roll, and really guitar based in your face. Hopefully be out next April, May, hopefully.
Brilliant. James, it's great catching up with you. Good luck with the song, which is out now.
Cheers, sir.
Called That's No Way to Tell a Lie, and the album is called
The Great Western.
The Great Western.
Is that a reference to the trains or
Tiny
the
bit.
pub on the corner?
I know, I want free drinks, free train tickets, everything.
Absolutely.
Okay, James Neil Bradfield, thank you very much
you.
indeed.
Thanks
Good luck.